America's Sports Connection. I'm your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my buddy Ryan Ennis. Ryan, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
All right, trying to get adjusted to the weather change. Is it cool up there in New York too?
Yeah, man. I love it nice and cool.
Yeah, I wish it could stay like 70 degrees year round. That would be like my ideal weather.
Yeah, 60, 70 degrees for me would be perfect year round.
Yeah.
My wife is saying no.
What she's doing to Daniel Bryan? No, no.
She's tropical. She likes the tropical weather. Me, I'm good with
Nah,
this. Give me a hoodie.
we're old and broken, so we can't be doing that shit.
No. Tropical weather hurts.
You better believe it with the humidity.
Then again, so does cold weather, so...
It's like, can we get like a happy medium?
Yes.
I'll tell you a funny story. I don't know if you saw it. I put it on my social media. I was at the gym on Wednesday morning, and it was this older guy. I'm assuming he was in his like 50s, maybe 60s. And I was doing like crunches on one of the ab machines, and I was finishing up, and you know where you wipe down the machine. And he goes, "Oh, I saw you're working hard there." I was, "Yeah." I was like, "I don't really pay attention. I'm just, doing my thing." And he goes, "Oh, I saw you in the cardio room, riding this thing." And I was like, "Yeah, I was on that one over there." He's like, "Does that really work?" And I'm like, well, it depends on how hard you want to work."
What, the leg machine?
Yeah, well, to like get a sweat on the on the cardio, like the elliptical machine. He's
I don't
like,
think
"Does
I've
that
ever
work?"
used one of those.
And I'm like, "Well, depends on how hard you want to work."
Yeah, well.
It just made me laugh. I was like, "Okay."
Just a random ass old guy talking to you?
Yeah, I didn't even know who he was.
I don't know, maybe he was just bored. Maybe his wife died and he just wanted
Yeah, who
somebody to talk
knows?
to.
But it was just kind of so random. But
Yeah, I don't know how well you would do in New York City. People just talk to you, just open stock conversations. Like, yeah, sure.
what do you want from me? I'm in the hick town.
Yeah, I didn't even know Jersey had hick areas till you told me like you worked at a farm.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I didn't know that was like, I thought that was like down south, not like South Jersey.
Yeah. Now, I was going to ask you, I don't know if you heard about this. Did you hear the latest news in the John Jones saga?
I don't know. What's the latest news?
The one that they have the actual thing he tested positive for?
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's a very expensive steroid.
And his claim is that he tested clean for the entire month leading up to the fight. And then he took a blood test the day after the fight and was clean. But they did like a urine test, I think, a couple days before, and he tested dirty.
No, it was the
or
weigh-in.
Something like that.
It was the weigh-in the morning before the fight. Drug test, according to Joe Rogan, because I've been trying to follow this, and
yeah, because I was just reading it a little bit ago.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the one he popped for was the one post weigh-in, because they were talking about what the potential drugs he could, because there's this new drug that
I had it. Like Lance is saying it's Turna something. I have to find it.
Well, this one is supposedly in and out of your system in a couple of hours. It has a very short shelf life. Which means not shelf life, half life, which means he could take it, get all like this rage, and then test clean afterwards.
Yeah, I guess it's how you pronounce it is Turnabol.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, it's Turinabol.
Well,
but yeah, I had heard that's what Joe Rogan had said, that it's basically something that it gets out of your system really quickly.
And now I take everything Chael Sonnen says with a grain of salt. But he said that this is a very expensive drug. This isn't something that is just happens to be in something that you didn't know, like, oh, I took a supplement and I had a banned substance. Like, no, this is a very expensive steroid. No one's putting this in products.
Well, and like the thing I read that John Jones rep said, it's like if he was testing clean the entire like month up to the fight, why would he, if he knew he was going to get like piss tested, like take it right before he was going to the weigh-in? You know what I mean?
That don't mean anything. Like, why was he doing cocaine?
Well, yeah, that's true.
While he was fighting in the UFC. I mean, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of different things, but it's just weird. It just sounds like it's going to be this like giant Brock legal Lesnar battle. Popped.
He had all of this stuff about him coming back. He popped for steroids.
Who is this?
Lesnar, when he fought when he fought what the hell is his name? The big Samoan, Mark Hunt.
Yeah. And that's the third guy he fought that was dirty.
I mean, it's just like this shit happens, I mean, I don't think it's as sporadic as people would want people to think.
No, and because they're testing his B sample now, if it comes back that he's dirty too, he's done. Because it'd be, I think they said, a 4-year ban.
Yeah.
His career is essentially over unless he wants to go to Bellator.
I don't think he's UFC suspended. I think he gets... I don't know how that works. I don't know if it's just from the UFC.
Oh, okay. Then it might be just from, like, USADA.
Yeah, because I don't think... Yeah, it's a USADA ban.
Oh, well, fuck. Then he's really done.
Plus, he's on the contract. He can't just say, well, I can't fight for you. I'm just going to leave and go fight elsewhere. Fighting for Bellator is not an option.
Okay. See, because I wasn't sure. Because I figured if he tested dirty again that they would just release him.
No. Testing dirty is more than that. They're regulated by USADA, and this is not its first pop. So, I mean, come on. Look at what they were trying to give fucking Nick Diaz for weed. I think it was 4 years they were trying to give him for weed.
Yeah, that's crazy. No, you make a very valid point. Now, before we get into some wrestling stuff, I wanted to get your thoughts on the big fight from last Saturday night with Conor and Floyd.
I don't know. It's a hell of a lot more entertaining than I thought it was going to be.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. I definitely think that it proves how rigged the system is.
I was just going to say that because our buddy Sunil posted that. It was either right after the fight or in the morning that the judges basically had Floyd winning, I think, every round.
Every round except for the first.
Yeah, which I had it, like, even. Like, I think by the 10th round, if it would have went, like, if they didn't stop it, I had it at, like, 5-5.
Yeah, no, I had it 6-4 Mayweather. I gave the first 4 to Conor.
Okay. He just basically ran out of gas. It was kind of like a rope-a-dope in a way.
Now... a guy who's had one fight hit him more times than I think anybody in like the last 15, 20 years.
No, that's true. But it was it was a much more entertaining fight than I thought it was going to be.
It was more entertaining than Pacquiao fight.
Yes.
I enjoyed it. I mean, like, come on. If anybody seriously thought Conor was going to win, like, if it's something like I would have loved to see it. I genuinely would have thought it would have been awesome to see, but I didn't expect it to happen.
Yeah, like Adam said in our chat, he says, the boxer won the boxing match. It wasn't exciting, but it wasn't boring. It was kind of like in the middle.
Well, yeah, there were moments where it was like, oh shit, Conor hit him, but it was like if you expected too much more out of that, then you're setting yourself up to be
absolutely
disappointed. All I wanted to see was him rock Floyd a couple of times. That's it. Like realistically, that's what I wanted to walk away from. I didn't want to see him get mopped up in the first 3 rounds.
Right.
Like what happened to CM Punk. I didn't want to see that happen.
Yeah,
Give me something competitive, even with him losing.
I agree with that. Chris is asking, where does McGregor go from here? If he wants another boxing match, I don't think that's going to happen, personally.
There's nobody else that's going to draw money like that. Absolutely not. Nobody cares about Paul Malignaggi. Really, like, no one said his name the last how many years. The only reason why he's getting any play is because Conor put him on.
Yeah, I think if UFC is smart, they get him back in the ring before the end of the year.
Him and Nate Diaz for the title. Yep. Do it in Ireland.
He is their only cash cow they have left.
Oh, Nate could do it for himself. If Nate could beat Conor in Ireland.
Yeah, that could be it, yeah.
I mean, not that Nate is a new guy, but he could be like, fuck you, pay me.
Yeah, he
I want more money.
Can basically now, Conor McGregor can say, give me whatever I want.
Well, Conor said that he'll fight Nate at 155. He goes, I'm the 155-pound champion. We fought 2 fights at 170. He won 1. I won the rematch. Now come down to my weight and fight me for my belt.
That seems fair. Then it'd be basically like the rubber match.
Yeah, but it's a much lighter weight than Diaz usually fights at.
And what does he normally fight at? What, 170?
I think 170 and up. I don't know what his shelf is. That's definitely something Kevin would know.
Okay, because Chris was saying he did say he would entertain the idea of boxing again.
Oh, he said that. He had been saying that, but there's nobody out there where there's money. Nobody wants to see him fight Canelo. Like, there's not a lot of interest out there right now for it. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and people got to, you water it down if it happens too often. It's not going to be another money fight. The only other money fight would have been if Conor won and there was a rematch.
Yeah.
Nobody, boxing is a dead sport.
Yeah, it's really hurting. The other, I will say this, the other fight I'm actually looking forward to is coming up. I don't remember the exact date. Adam, that's in the chat, would know. Triple G is fighting Canelo coming up soon.
See, but that's an athlete that's I know the name Triple G, and it's like, how much do you really know about this guy other than he's fighting somebody?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it's like everybody knows Floyd Mayweather. Everybody knew Conor McGregor. There's nobody else in boxing right now.
Their box office appeal.
Could there be some potentially real good fights out there? Absolutely. But you're not selling a fight. If Conor McGregor boxes, you're not selling a fight. You're selling a fucking shit show.
Basically. Jim in our chat wants to know, is there any truth to the rumors of Conor McGregor possibly buying into UFC shareholds?
Anything's possible. Dana has no say over that.
I was going to say, because he's not really...
He's a minority. He's a very small minority owner. He's a very small percentage.
Yeah, especially because they switched, they have new owners now.
Yeah.
So, anything's possible. Your thoughts on the Mae Young Classic from what... Because I just actually finished watching it earlier today, the first round.
Well, I watched the first 2 when they came out Monday morning about 9 o'clock. I watched it about 10. I watched the first 2. How do I put it? I think it's awesome that the women are being highlighted. I think there are some women who are not ready for television yet that are on TV. I think there's some that should be on the main roster, but I think there are a couple that may not be anywhere close to polished or even that great to be involved in something like this.
You took the words right out of my mouth, and in no way am I disrespecting them, but I blame WWE for putting these people in a spot, like you said, that they're not ready for. And to be completely honest, if you watch the first round, some of those matches I told you off air, oofa. Some of them are not good.
Yeah, and it's because I'm trying to be positive about this, like I was with the Cruiserweight Classic and the UK tournament. But it's just like, it's hard. Like, some of these girls, they have like no training, like no real training. And it's if you're trying to show interest in the women's division, this isn't the way to do it. Like, maybe once it gets down a little bit, but
I'll say this, and I'm curious on your opinion, because I know some people like go crazy over this girl, and I'll be fair, I haven't seen a lot of her work, but Shayna Baszler, I was not really impressed with.
I think they have big plans for her too.
Like, she went to, I don't know if everyone has seen it, but she went to do like a suplex, and then it looked like really bad, and then it was like kind of like twisted into a submission, and like it was like, that's it.
I don't know, man, but she actually has a lot more experience than you would think.
No, I'm not like crapping on her. I'm just saying from what because I'm not like totally crapping on her.
Oh, you're being objective.
Yeah, just from what I saw, I was like, wow. I will say this. The best matches I saw in the first round were Mia Yim and Sarah Logan. That was really good. I'm trying to remember Viper, who is Piper Nixon, I think, in the tournament.
Piper Niven.
Or Niven, thank you. And Santana Garrett was really good. And even Tessa Blanchard and Kairi Sane was good.
I'm actually surprised I'm surprised that those two fought each other in the first round.
I am too.
I would have thought that they wanted Tessa to go on a little bit.
Yeah, those were the three that stood out to me.
Yeah, like I said, I watched the first two. Some were really not good.
You just reminded me of something. And I don't want to knock this girl because it's cool that she's like from China and everything. Like, they have someone.
Oh, the other one.
Yeah, but how can you have a girl that is wrestling her first ever professional wrestling match in this tournament?
Was that the girl in the red, or was that Zeta?
No, the girl that fought Mercedes Martinez.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the one who just threw a couple kicks.
Yeah.
But I also think that, like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's only like, I watched Mercedes Martinez wrestle, and I was like, I understand selling, but it's like, she's like cringeworthy over the top.
Yeah,
overselling too much, and it's just kind of like, maybe you've never wrestled in front of a venue like where people give you feedback, but like, that's not good. Like, I don't like. Do you look comical? Like, you're what people make fun of in wrestling.
No, I know what you're saying. I will say though, I like the submission. It was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that looks nasty.
But yeah, it's...
That was the other thing that was strange to me about the first round, like you just mentioned. There was a lot of like big name matchups that you would think you would see later on.
Could it be that some of the people putting together the stuff didn't really know who? No, because her name is Blanchard.
Yeah. Well, then we were just talking about this. Rachel Ellering is in it, who goes by Rachel Evans, I think it is. Evers.
Yeah.
And that was so weird to me because her hype video was all about I'm Paul Ellering's kid, and then she doesn't have his last name.
Oh no, that made perfect sense to me. Think about only a few people have their parents' last name.
Oh, maybe it was just me then.
Fucking Curtis Axel didn't even get Mr. Perfect's name after even acknowledging on TV that his father was Mr.
Yeah,
Perfect.
That's true.
He doesn't even get his real name.
No.
Not Perfect Jr., not Joe Henning.
Nothing. Hey, it could be worse. He could be Michael McGillicuddy again.
Yeah, well.
All right, well, Lance brought this up in the chat, and I completely forgot about it. We'll touch on that, and then we'll get on to the rest of the show. Did you hear about the Sexy Star incident?
I did, and I saw the video.
Okay. What was your opinion on it?
I think she should be blackballed from wrestling.
Yep. I couldn't agree more.
I mean, like, all I knew was her on Lucha Underground, and the story they painted her was, like, she's, like, a survivor of, like, domestic abuse, and, you know, that's why she has this character. And I was like, all right, well, you know, I'm all for that. And to find out, like, she takes liberties for people in the ring, and she's, like, an all-around fucking bitch to everybody. Just kind of like, oh, well, yeah, it sucks what you went through, but, like, I don't think you should ever have a job again. You can't intentionally hurt people in the ring.
Let me put it to you this way. You know it's bad when Joey Ryan, who never speaks ill will of anyone, went and trashed her on social media.
You know, that's kind of when I took it serious, because at first, like, when you told me, and I'm like, oh, that's some fucking Mark overreacting somewhere, put a fucking news story online. That's, like, I don't take things like that seriously, because I hear Marks all the time just come up with these stupid news stories who that don't make sense, and I hate trying to decipher which ones are real and which ones aren't. When I saw, like, it was being tweeted out by lots of, like, legit wrestlers.
Yeah, like Cody Rhodes and Joey Ryan and...
Yeah, once they started getting involved, and then I saw, like, BG James, like, responding to something, like, if this is legit, and a couple people, like, responded back to him, I said, oh, shit, like, so then I went and I found the video. And it's like, yeah, man, she shouldn't have a job. Because I know you get a lot of news in, like, your, like, the groups you're in. Like, I had to leave the one.
Like, no, I know. I saw.
I didn't want to be rude to nobody, so.
No, I completely understand. But no, I completely agree with you. She shouldn't be in wrestling because when you're in professional wrestling, you have to trust the other person that is in the ring with you. And if you can't trust them, then they can't be there.
Yeah, and I don't get it. It's not like she was in the ring with a novice either.
No, Rosemary is very talented and has been in the wrestling for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Like, she was with somebody who knows what she's doing in there. So it's not like...
It's not like she's a rookie.
Yeah, I can understand some hazing a little bit here and there.
Well, the story I read, and I don't know how true it is, she had a legitimate beef with the other girl that was in the match with them.
Yes, and you can see it earlier in the fight. There's one part where they're legit punching the shit out of each other.
Yeah, and she took it out on Rosemary and screwed her, tried to hurt her, but thankfully she's not, like, seriously hurt. She just bruised her bicep, didn't tear anything. She's lucky because that could have been really bad.
Yeah, it was Joey Ryan is the one that I saw where I was like, oh, maybe I should pay attention to this then, because, like, he's a big name.
Yeah, and then she put out an apology, Sexy Star. It was, like, the worst fucking apology I've ever seen.
Mike, it's because it was in Spanish. Let me stop.
And, no, I read the translation, and I'm like, well, this sounds awful.
Oh.
It was just... Now, here's a question. I don't know if you know this. Did she ever, like, train or do MMA stuff?
Whom?
Sexy Star?
No idea.
Okay,
No
I was
idea.
just curious. Because if she gets blackballed from wrestling, who's to say she might not try to do MMA stuff?
Let her go do real stuff with real people who were doing real stuff.
Yeah.
No problem with that. Go MMA. Go try that bullshit on somebody else.
And get
Have
knocked
somebody
the hell
snap
out.
her on. Ask Misha Tate what happens when you don't tap out to shit like that.
You'll get hurt bad.
Ronda Rousey snaps her fucking elbow.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Yeah, like Lance said, those girls will fight back.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Be in a situation where the person that you're putting a submission hold on expects you not to let go of it.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Jim in our chat said he thinks that her husband is a legit MMA fighter.
Okay, my wife is a doctor. I'm not going to see patients tomorrow.
Yeah, but I just wanted your take on that because I think that's just disgusting that shit like that happens. Or happened, I should say.
Yeah, no, I don't think that there's a place for that anywhere.
No. All right, well, let's transition into WWE. Monday Night Raw, what did you think of Raw this past week?
I don't think it was anything super memorable.
No. Other than, depending on who you
talk to. It's a promo.
Yeah.
Alright, that I watched a couple times. That was really good. I enjoyed it. What did you think of it?
I liked it, and it really... The thing that surprised me was they put Roman in that spot where, because, how do I want to say it? Cena is really, really good at doing those types of promos, and we all know, regardless of how you feel about Roman, he really struggles with the promos right now. And I feel like, I don't want to say they set him up to fail, but I was shocked that they would kind of let him show his weakness, I guess you would say, like that.
Be that exposed, yeah.
Yeah, like kind of expose him.
I mean, I definitely think Cena went off script a couple times, especially with that line about him not being able to do promos. Like, it's called the promo.
If you want to be the big dog, you got to learn how to do them. Yeah, you could tell that he got
Roman
legitimately angry after that.
When he was like, "Shut your mouth."
Yeah, shut up. And then when he started talking what he was saying it in a way you're like, ooh, he's fired up now.
Yeah, when he told Cena to shut his mouth, I was like, that's not Roman Reigns, the character. That's Joseph NY really pissed off right now.
And that's
Cena made him look like a fucking fool.
When he started calling him a bitch.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, you just called him a bitch. Like it's like a third grade insult. Like, he was flustered. That's what it was.
I mean, I thought after that he kind of turned it around a little bit. Like, it still was probably the best promo he's ever cut.
I think it's the best promo we remember, because he's had a couple that weren't terrible.
I guess it's just because the ones we remember are the really bad ones.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, talking's not his strong point. Like, but is it talking, or is it what he's being told to say?
That's true, too. If he's... I'm curious to see, like, if they let him just kind of, instead of, basically writing it for him, just say, okay, here's your bullet points. You know what I mean? Make sure you say A, B, and C, or get it in somehow, and just say whatever you want. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm sure he's not the one who came up with suffering succotash.
No, that's Vince all the way.
So, I mean, it's like, I think Cena got the best at it. I mean, like, definitely got the best, but my question is, what does this do to a kid sitting at home who's always had to pick one or the other?
Mm-hmm.
whoever Cena's against is the bad guy. Whoever Roman's against is the bad guy. What happens when the the quote unquote bad guy is their other favorite wrestler?
Yeah, it's like and I hate comparing it to this because it's nowhere near it.
So I don't understand.
Yeah, it's almost like when we were kids when we had to choose between Hogan and Warrior.
Yeah, except that wasn't even really done in a negative way, though, was it? It was more like two faces going at each other while both stayed face.
Right, yeah, I know.
I'm going to beat you, you're going to beat me. Like, now, this is really like one of them dressing down another one.
Basically
saying he sucks.
Right,
in a nice way.
Mean, and the other thing I thought that was really interesting, and I guess they did it, the writers, to get us all talking about it. And when I mean us is the more vocal part of the fan base, because well, you're not going to bury me, John Cena. Just to get over. Ooh, he mentioned that he, has this shovel and he likes to bury people.
First, he called it a shuffle.
Yes, he did. He called it a shuffle.
Now, what was... Shane typically likes both?
Yes.
What was Shane's reaction to it?
He was just sitting there, ooh, ooh. He was, like, shocked, but he sides with Cena. Cena's been, like, the dude. You know what I mean?
So now, does he not like Roman Reigns now? Because kids are like that.
Yeah, no. He likes them both, but if you made him choose, he would choose Cena.
Okay.
Which is interesting, but I think it's more so because he's the guy that got him kind of into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's completely understandable.
Now,
I'm just wondering in general what this is doing to kids. So, if anybody listening has kids, have your kid watch it and get back to us. Let us know, how it's being received. I don't have kids. I have cats, and they don't give very good feedback on wrestling matches. So,
no, true.
Seriously, I'm very curious with, how this is going over with the intended audience of Cena and Roman. Which is
because
kids.
It's, I would say, children under the age of 12.
The fact that they brought up Cena's heel turn, maybe they
that was
but
really
it was real.
Interesting. And honestly, this match would have never even happened if Samoa Joe didn't get hurt.
I don't think it would happen so soon. They would definitely.
That's what I meant. That's what I should have said. You wouldn't have had it at No Mercy. You probably would have had it at Survivor Series or the Rumble or, one of the big pay-per-views. But apparently, he hurt his knee at a house show, and he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, the one thing I'm not going to even entertain any conversations of at this point after is Roman going to turn heel?
Yeah. Jim in our chat says, to your question, Ryan, his nieces are shocked because they like both.
Well, I'm just curious what the residual effect is going to be going forward.
No.
Who they're going to side with.
Yeah, it makes absolute sense.
Thank you for that information. Definitely thank you for that information.
I will say I liked the Battle Royal to open the show. It was something different.
Yes, it was also surprising.
Yes, I wouldn't... If you told me Jeff Hardy was going to win before the show started, I would have called you a liar.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where they're going to go with this. I know that they wanted to do something with him singles. Maybe that may mean that they're going to end up doing Broken Matt. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to get off that, too.
I don't know.
I don't think
Either
they
way,
want to...
It'd be very, very interesting.
Because if I had to break one of them, I'd want Broken Matt. I don't care about Brother Nero.
He's the one that started it.
Yeah.
I will say this about, and I as I'm scrolling through looking at the recap of Raw, I know why they put Enzo on 205 Live to kind of help get viewership on there with the cruiserweights. But my God, was his match hard to watch with Noam Dar.
Yeah, I'm getting to the point that I don't want Enzo on the roster anymore.
I know, it's sad, isn't it?
It's just, I knew he could never really work. But if all the stuff that people are saying are true...
He's hanging himself.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just like a matter of time. Oh,
I agree fully.
I didn't know that. Thanks, Lance. Apparently, Ryan, they've announced WWE that, and this is really random, that Braun Strowman is fighting the Big Show on Raw this week in a cage.
Uh-oh, are they going to have Brock come in, like, rip the cage apart?
That's what I'm wondering. Because that's what Lance said. What gets broken this time?
No, are they? Yes, but I also think the question should be, how does the Big Show job out?
Yeah.
How do they use the Big Show to put Strowman over? Because that's all he's there for. That's all he's there for, is to put guys like Big Show. I mean, like Big Kaz and fucking Strowman over.
Oh yeah.
What else has he done in the last year? What put other guys over? Well, the last couple of years.
I was gonna say the last couple years. And I will say this: there was another head scratcher, the main event with Alexa and Sasha.
Yeah, I don't know what I mean, like, good idea, like, for the match. And here's something that I like that a lot of people didn't get, and maybe they think is stupid, but I really kind of enjoyed. They didn't have to build up that the main event was a woman's match.
Yeah, because they've already had it as a main event.
Well, yeah, it was just, we're at the point where it's just okay to have a women's match as the main event without it being a historic occasion.
Right, and Michael Cole, like losing his mind and shit.
It was a regular night, a regular show. Happened to have a match, happened to have two women in it. Like, they're getting away from
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of like, they're getting closer to what the UFC does, because it's not the woman's bantamweight belt, it's the UFC bantamweight champion, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'll say this. I don't know if they don't have, like, really good chemistry, her and, like, Sasha, but their matches are just kind of, I
don't think it was bad, but you're right. I think it was just kind of like, I did like the ending, though.
It wasn't bad, but it was just, it didn't do anything for me.
No, I get that. I like the Nia turn, though. I really did.
Yeah, no, that was cool. I wonder if it's because there's those rumors that they, like, legitimately don't like each other.
They may not.
That's been, like, rumored for some time, but see, that wouldn't make sense.
I haven't heard that, though.
See, yeah, I don't think it would be because of that, because that would be, like, unprofessional. I mean, if you don't like somebody, it's whatever, but go do your job. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? No, I don't. What do you mean that, like, what does them not liking each other have to do with one not doing their job?
I just meant go out and put on a match that's going to, I guess you would say, entertain everybody, as opposed to putting on something that's just kind of flat.
Man, you got to get out of those groups. Like, that doesn't even remotely make sense. Risk losing your job and not putting on, like, not giving your best because you don't like the other person. No more listening to, like, Facebook wrestling news.
Aye, Captain.
No, because no.
Like Lance just said, we don't need another sexy star.
No.
That would be really bad.
Yeah, no, but there's been no indication that was even remotely close. The only person in history that anyone's ever said that about was Randy Orton. And that's because he's the first third-generation wrestler and basically untouchable. He shit in somebody's bag and kept his job. They're not going to fire him for taking it easy.
Oh, yeah, and he If I remember correctly, he failed a drug test 3 times. But one was twice. When he was when he was on leave, I think, after like surgery.
Oh, I don't know. I know that they allowed him to do something and like drop one of the points.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
I don't remember exactly what, but I remember that being a thing.
Yeah.
And they put it in there for Randy. Because they didn't want him to like fucking ruin his career.
Yeah, because he was really close to being gone by being, stupid, basically.
Yeah. Being young and stupid.
Yeah. All right. What did you think of SmackDown this week?
I know I just watched it. Kind of redundant.
Yeah, like it wasn't very good, I thought.
I'm getting tired of the Kevin Owens and AJ thing. It's like, that's all WWE seems to know how to do. Have Kevin Owens have his feuds run into the ground.
Yeah, remember what they did with him and Sami?
Sami Zayn, yeah.
Where it's like, make me not give a shit.
I mean, I got DVDs of basically, it's like the rise and reign of Kevin Steen. It did 2 disc DVDs. most of them are generico matches. I could watch them 1,000 times. It got to the point in WWE where I didn't want to see them fight anymore.
So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
Great job, WWE.
And that's not just because I'm being nitpicky. It's just because how many times can you see the same match 5,000 times? Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. Thank you for pointing that out. I want to circle back real quick with the I forgot at the very end. Nia Jax turned on Alexa.
Oh yeah, that's what I brought up before. I said I thought it was great. I thought the Nia turn was great.
Yeah, and I guess she's a face now.
No, or just a heel that wants her, a title shot.
Yeah. I thought it was cool because the crowd kind of popped for it.
Yeah.
For the most part, that crowd was dead.
Where were they?
I don't remember. But either way, the crowd really wasn't like super into it. At least I didn't think.
Because I don't think they were still in New York for SmackDown.
No.
Philly, maybe?
No. I'll have to look it up. I will say one thing that was cool was seeing Shelton Benjamin come back.
Yeah. Did you see it when he returned last week?
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna do, like, it made me feel like they may do something where he turns on Gable.
Yes, I felt that immediately.
All right, good. So I'm not the only person.
Like just his mannerisms and stuff were like, yeah, he's turning heel.
I definitely got that when they were first announced as a tag team. I wasn't really super paying attention for their tag match.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he had the mannerisms then, but definitely in that when they first brought him back and Daniel Bryan was like, meet your new tag team partner.
Here's WWE in a nutshell. Adam just posted in our chat. Their motto, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Meaning like with Owens and AJ or Owens and Zayn, I'll cram it down your throat for 6 months.
Or if it ain't broke, try to fix it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
It's just SmackDown just felt really like blah this week. I mean, it was cool to see Bobby Roode again, and he had a little, decent match with Mike Kanellis.
Now he's somebody I'm wondering if they're turning face, because last week he came out against what's his name, the Artiste.
Yeah, English.
And now this week. He came out and beat Kanellis, so I don't know if that's just heel, and them just capitalizing off the fan ovation.
It feels like he is, though.
Yeah, I mean, his mannerisms, the way he walks in the ring, he walks like somebody who's like happy to be there, like around the crowd and stuff like that, like embracing the crowd, which would be a baby face.
Yeah.
That sounded so marky for somebody who doesn't know what I'm talking about. Like, oh, he's just happy to be there. No, he's not Apollo Crews.
Yeah, they've been on TV in forever.
Poor Uha. But the fact that Uha Nation is even on TV is just mind-blowing. Yeah.
Oh, I read it wrong. If it is broke, don't fix it. My apologies.
Oh, there you go. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense.
Sorry.
Because I didn't want to say it. I was like, that's a real shitty saying.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. Lack of sleep. That's funny. But, no.
All the people who say I'm mean about everything.
Like, another one, they have, like, I mean, they have fantastic matches, but how many times can you see the New Day fight the Usos?
Yeah, that's another one. Or now it's, the fucking Shield Reborn versus the Bar. It's like, okay, this week it's this tag member versus what? This tag member.
It's like, let's switch them. Like, Seth is gonna fight Cesaro, and Dean's gonna fight Sheamus, and then next week we'll flip it.
Oh my god, these really the only two tag teams left?
I know, it's ridiculous. Well, there had been rumors that the Authors of Pain were coming up, but we'll see.
Again, are they rumors, or is it somebody posting on a Facebook group?
No.
Because I haven't heard that anywhere.
Well, that's interesting then. What was I going to tell you? That's what I was going to say. Do you think, like, Lana's done wrestling because they did this stupid thing with her and Tamina?
What exactly happened with her and Tamina?
Like, Tamina won like a squash match, basically, and she like gets on the mic yelling at Tamina to crush the girl.
Oh.
And then, like, after the match, a bunch of photographers get in the ring and take photos of both Lana and Tamina.
No idea.
And it's I'm not kidding you as I say this. It's referred to as the Ravishing Revolution.
I have zero comment on that.
I know, I was just like, weird one. I will say, though, the main event was not that bad. With Orton and Nakamura versus Rusev and Jinder.
Bro, Jinder's the future.
Yeah.
Don't hinder my Jinder.
I just wish they would let him do more.
He gets to do the Colossus. That's all I care about.
That's about it, yeah. And now, next week, it's Orton against Nakamura for the #1 contendership to see who's going to fight Jinder at, I think their next pay-per-view is Hell in a Cell.
I believe you are right. Pretty sure you are.
Yeah, I'm debating if they're going to have, like, a schmaz finish next week and have it be a triple threat at Hell in a Cell.
I still don't see Jinder losing the belt yet.
No.
Or imagine he really does keep it to Mania.
Oh, people would lose their mind.
Bro, you realize he captured it like the pay-per-view after Mania? He'd have it for almost a year. Imagine Jinder Mahal is the world champion for a year.
Oh, people would be furious.
Oh, I'd be the happiest man alive.
No, I know you would, but I mean, there's
for that exact reason, I'd be the happiest man alive.
I know.
All the fucking angry-ass mark-ass bitches.
Because I think it's September. Yeah, it's in September they're touring India, so he's not losing that belt anytime soon.
Oh, yeah, no. Only way I could see him lose it is if they let him win it back at, like, a house show in India.
They could do that where like they would do that back in the day. The greatest example I remember right off the top of my head was when like Marty Jannetty and the 1-2-3 Kid won the tag belts like on a house show, and then like 2 or 3 days later they lost them back.
Or Brett won the world title from Flair.
Yeah, that
I
too.
believe it was in Madison Square Garden. I could be wrong. It may have been Boston.
Yeah. Jim said Jinder's already over 100 days as champion.
Yeah.
Which is interesting in itself. My one complaint with his matches, I wish, because, how do I want to say that? Like, you know how they'll have some heels, they'll eventually, like, win on their own, or win in a way where they don't need help? I wish they would do that, as opposed to having those guys help him every single time.
Yeah, but every single time has only been how many times in reality, though?
That's true. It's been, what, 3?
3 or 4? I mean, you're right. Eventually it has to get to that. But for now, they're still building him up as a guy who's worthy to even hold the belt. So he has to have the matches, even if he needs the wonky finishes to solidify the matches.
Right.
You know
no,
I mean?
I get it. But you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's just because I've heard this complaint a lot, and it's like, it's not even 3 months. Now it's 3 months, but it's like, give the guy time. You wouldn't believe him beating Orton clean.
Yeah, no, that's fair. People would scoff at it.
So it's like he needs to win the way a heel would win, the way heels won in the 90s. Like, nobody won clean. Like, no heel ever won clean. If a babyface lost clean, that was a problem.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Maybe it's just because the day and age, you know what I mean? With everything we have available to us, we're spoiled.
Yeah.
All right. What did you think of 205 this week?
I thought what's his name got his head busted wide open.
Yeah.
And that was like legitimate. That wasn't.
That was Hardway.
Yeah.
I
liked where they were going with it.
What's that?
I liked where they were going with it, with him like just losing his mind and like just beating the fuck out of Kendrick. But then they had, I don't know if that was a ad lib when he got busted open or what, but I didn't like how it ended with Kendrick on top again. Unless it goes to like a big match, but they don't have big matches for the 205. They have pre-show.
Yeah, or unless they're gonna have it on 205.
Which is nothing. Nobody gives a fuck about 205.
But I thought it was a good match, and I thought it made him feel more legitimate because he came out in basically like fighting clothes.
Hey, come on, street clothes.
Yeah. As opposed to wearing, trunks. And I was like, okay, then this is basically going to be a fight. You know what I mean? So it's not Jack Gallagher being silly with the umbrella, and you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they finally had him come out to be like a man.
Yeah, that's what I enjoyed. But I agree with you, dude. He was gushing. I was like, ooh, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, no, he got his head busted open. That was hard. I was, ooh, damn, Jack. That sucks to be you.
Yeah. And I didn't mind the main event, the 6-man with Nice, Gulak, and Dar against Enzo, Cedric, and Metalik.
Yeah, it's just I don't want to see Enzo. Like, I was just like, man, this really isn't good.
I know, it's crazy how you can go from liking a guy, how long they been up? Not even a year?
No, more than a year.
Oh, no, it was a little. I take that back. It was the Mania before last. So it's been like a year and a half, give or take. And you're just like, yeah, I don't want to see him anymore. That's just crazy to me how fast someone can tumble. You know what I mean?
No, I agree fully.
I mean, I think it's really cool to see Metalik on the show every week because I really like him.
Yeah.
I just wish
it sucks that they stuck him with him.
Yeah, I just wish they stuck him with him. I just wish they would let him have singles matches as opposed to tags and six-mans.
No, I agree. 100%.
To show off who he is, because the guy was in the friggin' finals of the Cruiserweight Classic, for God's sake.
But who knows what WWE is trying to do in the long run? But no, you're right.
I try to go slow with him, but if they built him up right, the dude could be money for them with his look, for kids and everything.
No, I absolutely agree. I think that's a marketable look.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, he does, cool flips and stuff. And, things that would get people excited. I think he's awesome. I don't know
if he speaks English, though.
Oh, that might hurt him then.
I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm saying I don't know if he does.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious why they've waited so long to feature him more, unless he had other obligations he had to fulfill before he could come like he is now.
It's very possible.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just completely guessing.
I have no idea, but you're right. It's entirely possible that he had other commitments.
Yeah. Okay. Chris is saying that Raw was in Memphis this week.
Oh, that's right.
I remember now because they had the Heath Slater thing where he was dressed up like Elvis.
Yes.
Thanks, Chris. But yeah, it's just weird. All right. What did you think of NXT this past week?
I kind of like the NWO aspect of Cole and Red Dragon.
Yes.
Other than, I don't think there was. I got to see my boys Heavy Machinery. I love them.
Dude, the way they won that match, I kind of cringed.
Yeah, I showed my wife. I was like, imagine being that guy at the bottom.
What did she say?
She just looked and shook her head. We were actually watching, because I was laying on my couch today because I had my pull-up bed out still from my surgery. We were watching the Rumble where Roman won with The Rock.
Yeah, the one in Philly.
Yeah, the one in Philly, and everybody turns after D-Bry gets eliminated.
Yeah, and then The Rock gets booed, which never happens.
Yeah, trying to explain it all to her. I feel like a madman. I'm like, how do you try to explain wrestling to somebody who's not really a fan of why this all matters? Like, why people are booing?
That's funny. I actually thought the Ruby Riott Peyton Royce match was pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a bad match. I really didn't care again much about the Roderick Strong match at the end.
It wasn't terrible. I'm not a fan of Roderick Strong.
I know he's a good worker. I know he puts on good matches. It's just that I don't want to see him with somebody like Bobby Roode.
Yeah, and I don't want to say he doesn't have personality, but that's what he's severely lacking in that makes me not care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like his theme music.
Yeah, that's cool. But like you said, he's a great worker. It's just, I don't know. I feel like that's what's going to really hold him back.
Again, it's also going to come down to what things are written for him, what they have planned for him. The last gimmick, the last story did him no favors.
No.
This is my family. I'm a family man. What the fuck was that supposed to prove?
That was horrible. Chris just said, you mean kind of like Apollo Crews, has the talent in the ring, but just sucks at, personality and promos.
But again, like, we don't know that because he's been given almost no time to ever show it.
That's very true. Because I never actually saw him cutting promos or showing personality on the Independent, so I can't say whether he was good, bad, or indifferent.
I mean, it's also like, if you don't get the opportunity to learn and go in front of people and do it, you're not going to...
Exactly.
I don't think he's resting on his laurels. I'm sure he'd love the opportunity to go out there and do it. I mean, it's like, there's a difference between like not knowing how to do something and being bad at it.
No, I got you.
Like, Roman is bad. Roman's had the opportunity and he still makes the mistakes he does. And again, I'm not saying to you. It's just anybody in
general. It's in general.
Just try to reserve judgment. I understand that there's like we weren't born knowing everything. And if we're not given the time to learn how to do something, how is anybody supposed to expect us to get better? So there's definitely a difference between someone who sucks and someone who's just not good.
No, that's very true.
Again, I'm not trying to be nitpicky and stuff, but I think that a lot of time we as fans, we're overcritical to the point that nobody ever thinks of what they're being critical of, and it's like, well, of course, nothing could succeed. Fuck, I couldn't succeed in the level of expectations that I set.
No, and I know what you're saying, and it's kind of like a gang mentality. Well, if A, B, and C said that, then I'll go along with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why I know I may sound rude to people, but I don't give a fuck what your opinion is. Like, I need to formulate my own because it's my opinion. You're like, yeah, we could discuss our opinions afterwards, and I'd love to hear yours, but your opinion has zero bearing on whether or not I'm going to like or dislike something.
No,
there's some
I
people
understand
who
what you're
get mad
saying. It makes sense.
Well, there's people who get mad if you don't have the same point of view as them. It's like, what's the point of being friends with somebody who feels the exact same way as you?
Well, like I've said this before, if everybody felt the same way about things in the world, then it'd be a pretty boring place to live, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Plus, like, if everybody I knew liked, Conor McGregor, who the hell would I talk shit to?
Like Lance just said, opinions are never right or wrong. It's just an opinion.
No, I firmly disagree with that. There's a very wrong opinion. So somebody says their opinion is that Roman Reigns is the best wrestler. That's just an example. That's a wrong opinion.
No, I got you. I'd be curious to let Apollo Crews cut a promo or something and see what he can do, My issue with him is, and we've talked about this before, is he's the smiling, happy, like, you're
happy to be there, yeah.
Yeah. That's a very valid point, Adam. He says in the chat, if you're never challenged, you will never learn.
That's exactly it. So people are like, oh, he sucks. Well, yeah, he sucks. He's never had a chance to do it before. He never had a chance to learn. Like, you pick up a microphone and talk in front of millions of people.
Oh, I couldn't imagine. Like, I don't like getting in front of talking in front of 50 people, let alone that many.
Yeah, I mean, especially with zero real, preparation for it. Like, you don't start off on NXT talking in front of 20 people or 100 people. No, here's 70,000 people. Here's a microphone.
Good luck. No, I know what you mean. It's kind of like a trial by fire kind of deal.
Yeah, and what do you do when you're kind of positive, like that? You're nervous. You smile. Like if you're in a positive environment, there's no reason for you not to be. You kind of just smile and nod and you look like you're just happy to be there.
Yeah.
I think that's the human default. I think people forget that. Like we'd probably will do the same thing.
No, like that awkward kind of cheesy smile. I know exactly what you're talking about. Now, before we get out of here for tonight, I want to give you all the social media links you can reach us at. It's www.facebook.com/American Sports Connection or on Twitter at AM Sports Con, C-O-N, pod, P-O-D. You can also catch us. It's on the B Plus Player Radio at B Plus Player Radio, all one word.com. So those are all the ways you can find us if you're not hanging out with us here live. So we're going to get out of here for tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff, and we will see you back next time. So have a good night, everybody.